this is what I did. So first was cupcake.
Yeah.
Then
Two bites.
donut. Boom.
Yeah.
And then
The
cupcake.
Oh,
Kind of like
good.
a sandwich.
It's kind of, I like that.
So Geek-Pantsers, we've been recording, acting like we didn't know.
I didn't know.
You knew. You had it all set up.
I pushed the fucking button.
You fucking.
I invited these crazies.
So what are we talking
here.
about? We're talking about Daredevil, Born Again. There's not really much to talk about.
We summed up a lot of it already.
We've already touched base on quite a bit.
Yep.
You know, this is just we both watched the full season.
We did.
So we're both like
I was 2 episodes behind you when we did the first impressions episode.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, we don't really have to go too crazy. I don't think, right?
No, we'll just spoil some shit and call it
massive spoilers. I will say this, though. It's hard for me to, even now, like if I know you're a diehard fan of the Netflix show, it will be hard for me to suggest this if all you've ever seen was that. Right? Especially because it is different.
It is, yeah. Especially the beginning, like it starts to feel more familiar near the end.
Yeah, well, so funnily enough, and it's of course the way it is. The first 20 minutes of episode 1 felt like a continuation of Netflix.
Yes.
Right? For obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Because that was newly shot. Yeah. Right? And it was for that. So aside from some weirdness with
that was like
the
Zack
characters
Snyder,
at the beginning.
And then Joss Whedon jumped in after 20 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah, and then you're like,
yeah.
But only 20% is Joss Whedon?
What?
We've already debunked that one plenty of times. But like, but yeah, so aside from like some of the characters that obviously they were going to focus on, you know, because like I remember the only thing that was weird for me was some of the people that they were showing me, aside from the actress who plays Kirsten, because of course I knew who she was. Yeah, yeah. Right? Like I was familiar with the casting because she's like Cherry, and of course Detective Yuri, not Yuri, although she should have been.
Yeah, she should have been. Yeah,
because that would have been really cool if it was Yuri Watanabe from Marvel Spider-Man. But yeah, aside from like some of the characters you didn't recognize, didn't know who the fuck they were.
Yeah.
You were like, oh, Foggy, oh, Karen, oh, Matt,
oh, yeah. Everything's so precious.
Right? And then, of course, after that, then it's the new show.
Yeah.
Right? And, like, so on the first impressions, I was saying, like, you got to think of it like a different comic team coming on.
Right. And when you said that, I was like, yeah, okay, that's a good way to put it.
Right? Like, it actually helps.
Okay, so this is Brubaker following Bendis. All right. There's similarities,
like,
but
whatever team you want to go with and follow, however it works, that's the way to think of it as. But I will say, though, if you're like us, like the Netflix fucking, like, ride or die type of thing, and then you watch this, the only saving grace is, I will say, like, is always, like, obviously watch it, make your own decisions, make your own feelings about it, but yeah, be definitely a little bit more, like, loose. Don't be like, oh, it's got to be this, 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 and this.
Yeah.
Because it's not. And even though, like, some of the new shit, there's that feeling of it, I'm still a little. I'm way more pumped for season 2 than I was for season 1 now.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's going to be more cohesive. It's like this team. That's it.
That's it.
They don't have to Frankenstein season 2 together because it's all new, and it looks fucking sweet. Like the shit that we're seeing already.
Yeah, you've seen more than me. I'm trying to avoid it now. I'm like, I don't want to see everything.
Oof. But the tough ones for me is I still feel like they don't quite understand what made the Netflix show work so well. Because it's the same team that was talking about season 1. They're like, well, it's got the violence. In fact, it's probably the most violent you've ever, and it is. It's way more violent than the Netflix show was.
Oh yeah,
like way more violent. I mean, don't get me wrong. Fisk does a really good job of taking people's heads off, but this one was way more graphic than the first one.
Yeah.
And first one was fucking graphic.
Yeah, this one, we don't take heads off.
Yeah, you didn't see it physically.
We blow them to pieces.
You saw the beginning, you saw the after, and you saw what you could infer was the middle.
Yes.
But yeah, although the shot of the mannequin head was really like, I almost laughed because I was going from like, oh my god, I can't believe that they're fucking doing this, and then scene cut, and you're like, oh, okay. Yeah. It's like when they jump off of something and then they scene cut and it's clearly a fucking dummy just flailing. Like, okay.
It was kind of funny.
That's hokey.
It's like, you're squeezing the head like this, and then scene cut, and now all of a sudden you're like, he was like this? He'd rip the jaw, like the hairline and shit.
It almost felt like, like when you're squeezing and all of a sudden it just kind of shifts.
Yeah, just...
and so I'm like, okay, fine, like, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
But,
it was gross, but...
But it's like... So, I'm still like, I don't quite know that, like, they're saying what they think we want to hear, but really, it's... Like, don't get me wrong, I want them to tell their own story. Like, I really do.
Me too.
And, like,
but violence wasn't the reason why I love Daredevil.
Exactly. Like, so the one thing I will say, and it's the same thing all the way through, is that I had no issues with 13 episodes. I think it's weird now when you get, like, some seasons of TV shows where there are only 6 episodes.
Yeah.
Some shows are 12, some are 10.
9.
Some are 9.
It's very weird.
I know, like, obviously... Again, like I said, we're very lucky that this is what we got instead of what we could have gotten.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Because, like, keep in mind, She-Hulk came out, and he was in the hot dog suit, and he was more of a swashbuckler, and they had said, like, that was spinning into, they said he was going to be in She-Hulk, he was going to be in Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and at the time... That was going to be...
part of the actual MCU.
A prequel MCU, like, pre-Civil War Spider-Man.
But then they were lazy.
No, I'll tell you what happened.
Well, I know what happened.
Oh, yeah.
But the villains?
What it was
only so many villains we can use. Then. Well, then create new villains.
Yeah, but, like...
And there's a million Spider-Man villains. I mean, you could have did something.
Yeah, okay, but to be fair... The ones that they did use, they haven't used too often. Like, Norman Osborn, yeah, okay. But, I mean, we got a pretty cool version of Scorpion.
Yeah.
Very cool version of Scorpion. Tombstone is in it. I don't want to tell you how, because it's very cool.
Well, it's cool.
Very cool.
I mean, like, Tombstone will probably never get in live action, so what's the big deal?
Tough call, man.
Tough call?
Tough call. But... I devil's advocate aside, like, I see your point.
Yeah.
You're right. Like,
it sounds like we're going to have Mr. Negative in the next Spider-Man.
Well, I mean, that's pretty fucking cool if you ask me.
Yeah, he's a cool villain.
Okay.
He's a new villain, but he's a cool villain.
Yeah. And, yeah, I don't know. I did think about this. What if, what's her face? Sadie Sink?
Yep.
Is a multiverse... Mayday Parker.
Oh.
Or Peter Parker's daughter.
So close in age, though. Would that make it weird?
Of course it would.
Like, you're so hot, you're my daughter.
Well, hold on.
You're so hot, you're my daughter.
Okay, now you made it weird.
I mean, it's so...
Well, I don't know why it has to go like that. It's like, the way I picture it, I wasn't clear. The way I picture it is...
Okay.
She knows who he is.
Right.
He doesn't know who she is.
Okay.
That kind of thing. But. So, getting back to...
I think Spider-Gwen is likely.
Yeah, but Sadie Sink is a redhead, though.
Doesn't matter.
I mean, that's true.
I mean...
Yeah.
Bryce Dallas Howard's a redhead, and they cast her as Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
She looked damn good as a blonde.
Yeah, like, when did she not look good, though?
Never.
Really? Like... But yeah, so getting back to Daredevil, I will say, though... Okay, yeah, because we were going to get more of a swashbuckler.
Yeah.
More of a, like, 70s version of that character.
More like Mark Waid type deal.
Yeah, well, they had said Mark Waid, but every time I hear that reference, I'm like, I don't know if you actually read the Mark Waid run. Yes, it does look more colorful and vibrant because of the art team, and yes, it was a conscious effort of Mark Waid to have that sort of like happier guy, but it was literally a facade. It was a fake it till you make it type of situation. Like he literally, Matt says in the first couple pages, he's like, I'm not going to be gloom and doom anymore. I'm going to be smiling through the pain type of thing. But the point was, he never actually did anything to change what he was doing. He was still doing the same thing, making the same mistakes. He was just trying to like smile and be like, hey, everything's going to be okay. Everything's all right. And then his whole world starts to crumble around him. So it gets pretty dark pretty quickly. The first actual art kind of is actually really cool because it deals with Claw.
Okay, yep.
And Mole Man.
Oh, I love Mole Man.
And at one point, it starts off because Matt's the body of Matt's dad, the coffin was moved, and that's why he goes underground because he realizes that they're doing something.
Really?
So he goes underground to. Yeah, it's very very cool, very very cool stuff. So, okay, forget about the hot dog suit. Forget about your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. They had said originally he was going to be more happy-go-lucky.
Right.
This wasn't going to be the exact same Daredevil from there. That was actually shortly after we had revolted, and we were like, no. We want that Matt.
Yeah.
We don't want a different Matt, a multiverse Matt. We want that Matt.
We want the Matt.
And then they went, okay, it's the same guy. It's just he's happier now. But if you think about it, how is he going to be happy? Like, how far removed was he from Karen and Foggy's death? Right?
Yeah.
And so he's going to be happy go lucky.
It would have to, like, age in real time. They died right after season 3. It's been 6-7 years.
Like, originally we were theorizing...
I mean, they could have said that Foggy and Karen were flicked away or whatever.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, we were theorizing that, like, say, maybe Matt got flicked.
Right. Okay.
Right? And then Fisk was like, oh, you're gone? Fuck this! And kills them both, right?
Right.
So then he comes back, 5 years is gone, but it's like, but again, for him, it's been seconds.
Yep.
Everything else is 5 years, or however long in this case, right? How does he come back and be like, everything is fucking great? Why not wear red and yellow?
I was dust yesterday.
Yeah. And my friends were alive.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, a lot of things were really cool. Now I come back and, well, my friends are dead. The guy that I basically threatened to get protection for them killed them. But I wore this red and yellow suit and I banged She-Hulk, so everything is great.
Everything's good.
Right? And I mean, like, I had no problems with his appearance in She-Hulk. I actually thought it was great. I was like, you know what?
Loved it.
If we had this, for like that kind of continuation, I would have been like, okay,
yep.
I can get behind this. Yep. But then you start hearing about how it's a procedural villain of the week court case thing where he's barely ever Daredevil. You're like,
yeah, I was like,
what was the point?
So
then?
it's Bill Bixby's Hulk show.
Yeah, exactly. Which is great in the 70s.
Yeah, I was like, straight up, this is what that sounds like.
Because, like, you know,
so
that's
5 minutes at the end. We'll get some Daredevil.
You might get 2 minutes at the beginning of the episode, right? And then the rest is just him being a lawyer and stuff. And it's like, yeah, okay, great, but the violence.
The violence is there. Right? That's
but
all that matters.
But I watched the Netflix show and I was like, okay, look, yeah, the violence is great. But here's, like, honestly, when I started watching Daredevil, I was expecting, because I had watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., right? And I watched Agent Carter.
Yep.
I was expecting that this is going to be Marvel's version of the CW shows.
Okay, yeah,
which is essentially what Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agent Carter was. I didn't watch the Inhumans TV show because why the fuck would I?
No.
Why would I?
No.
Even though I had no problems with the cast.
When they were all like, oh yeah, fuck the X-Men. Fox has the rights. Inhumans everywhere.
Yeah, but it's like, what?
All right.
And, but anyway, so, right, so, like, it's one of those where, like, don't get me wrong, if they would have said, okay, like, season 4, if it would have came out within the 2 years of season 3, I was itching to see how they were gonna like rehab Typhoid Mary, right? And I was itching to see how they would bring back Bullseye in season 5, right?
Yep.
And it would be, and I was also itching to see how they would do an entire season without Wilson Fisk at all, without any mentions of Wilson Fisk, right? Because I do hope that if we get a season 3, which I feel that we will, I hope that as much as I love Vincent D'Onofrio,
we take a break from
Kingpin. We take a break from him, and Vanessa too.
Yeah.
Okay, like the Fisks in general. I don't want to hear that last name after season 2. Or part 2, or whatever the fuck they want to call it.
So many good villains I want to see. Yeah.
Right?
Typhoid Mary.
Yeah. Now, and the other part 2 is, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, so, like, but also, I wouldn't have wanted it to be the exact same. Because, keep in mind, season 3, I remember starting season 3 and being like, oh, man, Fisk, again? And he's consolidating power? Like, how is this going to be any different than the first season? And he's in the black suit again? Like, what? Of course, they made it better, but, eventually, you don't want to, like, hit the well too many times, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so all I can say, if you were a huge fan of the Netflix show, like, watch it, but go in thinking of it like this is a new creative team, so things are going to look a little bit different. The music's going to be a little bit different. Art's going to be different.
I really dug the music.
Going to be different. I thought the music is actually really good.
Like, it's the theme, but it's like just a variation of it.
Well, the intro, like the actual theme song, is, I think, better than the original. Like, I liked the original.
At first, I was like,
I liked the original a lot.
I was like, okay, yeah.
But this one, the original suits the Netflix show.
Yes.
Right? Whereas this suits what they're doing with Born Again.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it suits all that.
I agree.
It's just, the other part, though, is that, like, it's the Frankenstein shit, right? Like, when you get to those episodes, like the middle episodes, You know
what's funny is, like,
they were rough to get through. And it bothered me because the complaint was...
You didn't like the bank heist one, right?
For reasons. Overall, I liked it.
Because Adrian was like, oh my god, that was so good. That was my favorite episode so far. And I was like, it's funny how that's going to hit different people.
Yeah, exactly. So, for me personally, I think that episode would have worked a bit better if it was later in the season. In between the Muse and the finale of the...
I think so too.
Because that's a palate cleanser episode right there.
Yeah.
That's your, like, you just did 5-issue arc, and you're setting up for your big 6-issue for the rest of the year.
Yep.
You got your 1 month in between.
I always love that one-shot palate cleanser.
Right? Like,
always.
That's like the conversation between, or the talk with the Ultimate Spider-Man. It was Peter Parker and Aunt May talking about him being Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of those where you're like...
That's great.
See, like, so that's perfect. It's where it was I didn't like. I had no issues with them trying to get Matt more into the MCU because...
All the Kamala references.
There were so many, though. There were so many. And also, I was already annoyed with how cavalier Matt was with who sees him do the things that he can do.
Yeah. Right?
Like, I don't care that, it's Kamala's dad and he's, she's a superhero and he understands the code, right? Matt's a lawyer whose identity as Daredevil undermines every single case he's ever tried. Right? Like, that's the Murdoch Papers. The whole thing was like, I'm gonna, and it fucks him, right? And it's the only thing that I was kind of keeping in the back of my head was like, you have to understand, though, that this is classic. Matt is grieving.
Yep.
He's not processing Foggy's death at all. And he thinks that the way to do it is to not be Daredevil. So he's denying a key part of himself that we spent 3-4 seasons, if you count Defenders. He's basically spent that much time telling all of his friends, like, I know you hate that I do this. I have to do this.
Yeah.
Because if I don't do this, it's going to fuck me up. And so that's the part where I'm like, okay, that's part of the old show where I'm like, okay, all right. It's just, it's not as good, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And there's no character episodes. Like, imagine a Kirsten McDuffie character episode. Or a Cherry episode.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it doesn't have to be exactly the same as the Netflix show where you have flashbacks while other things are happening. Like season 3 with the Karen episode.
Yeah.
The Karen stuff was happening while Matt was, doing other things, right? But at the same time, you were like, holy fuck, this was so good, right? Or even just the flashbacks for when, like, well, I keep referencing it, but Nelson versus Murdoch, where you see their entire friendship. And you see the beginning, and you see the end in the same episode.
Yep.
And, but you really, really gotta feel like Foggy at the end of that episode. You're like, if I didn't like Foggy before, I love him now, right? Whereas, so now it's just like, you get a half-ended reference. Oh, well, when I was Daredevil before, you didn't seem to mind Cherry, and oh, okay. Cool.
Yep.
Right? Like, so it's things like that. But again, we're talking about a Frankenstein monster. Like, it's hard to really...
Yeah, I think season 2 is going to pick it up and be way better.
I think so
I
too.
really do.
I think so too.
They were kind of lost with this season.
They literally did the best they could.
And they did a great job.
Exactly.
They did a great job.
That's probably the best thing about it, is that, like, because it's like, well, what did you want them to do?
Yeah.
Did you want them to scrap it, blow another 1 to maybe 2 years? Because Charlie's not getting any younger.
No.
Vincent is not getting any younger.
Vincent's nearing 70.
Right? Like,
he's in the mid-60s.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, neither... And,
there was a 7-year jump between this and season 3.
For fuck's sakes, we were lucky to get them in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, straight... Like, even just Charlie Cox. Like, having him come back as Daredevil for multiple things. Not just Spider-Man No Way Home. Not just She-Hulk.
Oh, he went all out.
And then, of course...
crazy all out. He was like, I'll do the Hugh Jackman contract.
Yeah, like...
I'll be in everything.
Right? So it's like we could have just had him.
Yeah.
But we didn't. We got them too. And I think that's also, we talked about the arrogance on their part. They were like, we got those guys. So,
It's kind of crazy, right? Like, we finally got Daredevil back. But also, we've had Matt Murdock in the MCU 4 times now before this.
Yeah.
Right?
3.
3?
Well, because it was No Way Home. But She-Hulk. Oh, you're talking about before the Netflix show.
Yeah. No, before this show started, Disney Plus. So it was...
It was No Way Home, it was She-Hulk, and it was Spider-Man.
And Echo.
Right, Echo. I forgot all about Echo. Yeah.
So 4 times.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It is fucking crazy. But, like... Yeah, so, I mean, I do think you should watch it. Like, if you haven't, you're on the fence.
Oh, yeah.
Watch it,
yeah.
But go in there open-minded. And also, actually, go in there expecting pretty brutal violence.
It's going to be somewhat of a confusing first season, I think. So, like, if you watch the Netflix show, you're going to watch this and probably be a little disappointed.
Yeah.
But if you didn't watch the Netflix show, you're going to watch this and maybe be a little confused. Because there's also a lot of stuff continuing from the Netflix show. Right.
Which I have to say, though, they do a pretty good job.
They do. There was moments, though, where I was watching and I was like, yeah, see, I wouldn't have known what this was about if I hadn't watched Netflix.
Yeah, exactly.
Like BB.
Yes,
right?
That's right.
Who the fuck's this?
Yeah.
Well, if you don't know Ben.
That's right. Yeah. And it's not even like she sits there and goes, well, my uncle was Ben Ulrich, who was also a reporter for this company. Yeah. Not the Daily Bugle, but the Daily Bugle. Right?
Daily Bugle, yeah.
Right? Like, you almost have to beat you over the head with it, right? So,
right.
And you're right. Yeah, there are
like little
aspects
things
like that, right? Yeah. But so, like, overall, what we did get was actually really fun.
It was really good. Muse was awesome.
Muse was awesome.
Muse was so fucking awesome.
Muse was awesome.
I had a little issue with how quickly Matt found him, but then the episode right after that, I was just like, I don't know.
Actually, I disagree, because they did constantly show him throughout the episode. He was constantly looking for him.
Yeah.
Right? So he was tracking him down. And how cool was it that he fucking Billy clubbed his way to kick him in the fucking face?
It was so cool. Muse was watching, you just hear the footsteps getting closer.
Because I was like, is he seriously just gonna run to him? And then all of a sudden it's like, whoosh, and I was like, oh shit!
Yeah, fucking awesome.
You know,
so good.
And okay,
so good.
So I'm done talking about the things I don't like about the show. Are you?
Don't like?
Or any of the
my only
hesitations.
Okay, my only little. Okay, so there's a couple of things. Yeah. Obviously, there's.
Because I want to start raving about it.
Yeah, yeah, which is fine. Okay, so my one little thing probably is the gala episode. Remember, I said I felt like there should be more MCU faces in there.
Yeah.
Maybe would have taken away, but this is the fucking mayor of New York.
Yep.
And most of the MCU takes place in New York.
Yep.
So.
No, I agree.
I
agree.
Even just like a J. Jonah Jameson cameo or something.
Well, I mean,
like
the swordsman, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, no one cares about.
And also, if I didn't see Hawkeye,
yeah, literally no one cares about the swordsman.
Yeah, no,
nobody.
Not one person was like,
yeah,
hey, we need more swordsmen.
Yeah,
but no.
So, or Julie Louis-Dreyfus being in that scene, just like
exactly
something. I don't know. Scouting.
Yeah, no, you're right. Like the Kamala appearance, not the but her dad, her father. Yeah. Like that's a nice little okay.
That's a nice little okay. All right,
but
cool.
You're right. I totally agree. Like
so that was
something. Well, White Tiger is also a nice, cool little nod, and knowing that it's going to lead into her becoming White Tiger, which is straight out of the Bendis book.
Straight. Yeah, I can't wait for that.
Oh, me neither. And
then
I don't like how she's that young, though. I wish they would have aged her up a bit.
She should have been early 20s.
But I understand that this is leading into the Champions. Yeah. So she's one of the ones that's going to go into the Champions.
Right.
But, okay. Yeah. But, but I agree. There should have been more than just Frank.
Right. And that's the other thing. Like, there's only Frank. We're in New York City. We had an alien invasion here 10 years ago.
They referenced the guy wearing
Avengers were here.
A Spider-Man costume.
Right. And so it's not like just Hell's Kitchen is shut down. This is all of New York.
Exactly.
There's no way Spider-Man's not getting involved.
What about Hawkeye?
Or Hawkeye.
Did we establish that Hawkeye is in the area?
Echo.
Echo's another one?
Any of them will get involved in some way or form.
Well, there's a good possibility that Echo is going to be part of the army for season 2.
There's a possibility.
Huge possibility.
Yeah.
I'm going to say.
But it was just like...
But no, I agree. I was
like...
It's one of those where, like, in the Netflix show...
I felt the Netflix show, at the beginning, anyways, felt more MCU than this did.
Because it was.
Like, we even had the Avengers Tower on all the posters.
They mentioned it. They referenced it. Like, every, it was referenced in Luke Cage. It was referenced in Daredevil, obviously. Mm-hmm. They literally referenced the fact that they were getting a cheap buy on the building because it was part of the renovations, right?
Yeah.
Then they just stopped mentioning it altogether, which I think you should do, but I agree. It's one of those where it's like, I know you wanted to make it more MCU,
but also...
Then why not? Just do it.
And, like, you could have Spider-Man without having Spider-Man. All you gotta do is just a quick background, someone swinging by, and we're like, wow, Spider-Man was there! Something so easy.
Yeah. I don't know why the rights mean you can't even, like, say his name. Also, couldn't they have used Miles Morales?
Right. Matt Murdock was in the Spider-Man movie, so why isn't Spider-Man in the Matt Murdock show? I don't know. Weird. So that is my only major tip is that if you're going to just stick to Hell's Kitchen, I would have believed only Daredevil and maybe Punisher were involved. Yeah. But if you're going full bore New York City, there is fucking heroes everywhere.
Yeah. Like, you're practically fucking tripping over each
other. Yeah.
Because, like, just, like you said, like, it's New York. So, first of all, you've got Fantastic Four.
Yep.
Right out of the gates. You got Spider-Man in Queens. You've got Brooklyn. You've got Captain America.
Yep.
Plus, Hell's Kitchen, you got Daredevil.
Yep.
Plus, you also have White Tiger, right?
Yep. You got Iron Man and Thor that could drop by at any second.
Iron Man is another one straight out of New York.
Right.
And you're right, Thor could pop in anytime. The X-Men are on the countryside of New York, Westchester, but still, they're in the area.
Yeah.
Like, they're not 3 trains away. They are 2 seconds away.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like, they're, like, what is it? Nightcrawler can teleport miles in advance as long as he can see it. He can see it. he could teleport to fucking New York from the X-Mansion. Like
even with Kamala's father being there, I straight up thought we were going to have a quick Kamala appearance in the last episode.
Yeah, well, I am actually surprised that they didn't, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so
anyways, that is it. That's it for my negative. My negative Nancy.
So the stuff that I like, well, first and foremost, that fucking suit looks awesome.
It does.
I mean, I love the Netflix suit, and that suit is so good that it actually makes me like look back at the Netflix suit and go, yeah, there are some things that I never liked. Like the high belt was always one of those ones you're like, that's a weird, but it was just so cool. You're like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. Fuck. And then to see a brighter version of that red, I was like, yeah. I still think the textured helmet is the wrong way to go.
Me too.
But still, I'm like, but if that's the only thing, like, and at this point too, they like if it ends with the sub point, he still gets the D's on there. Like I know in season 2 he's gonna get them technically because the way the mud and the spray paint or whatever. Fine, cool. Although if it's him doing it, I'm gonna be angry because I'm gonna be like, this is so stupid.
Yeah.
A blind guy doesn't give a shit about this kind of shit.
Look at my gauges.
He's already got fucking horns. He's already dressed in red. If you don't know that's Daredevil, you're out of town. That's...
Let's just write Daredevil in Braille across his chest.
Yeah. Like, fuck. Like, oh, I didn't know that was Daredevil. He should have had 2 Ds. Although technically it's 1 because it's one single word. But anyway. But the suit looks so good that I'm like, okay, I can...
This suit looks so fucking good.
Like, I really do hope...
And in motion.
Oh,
swinging around and stuff. Like, I was worried it was going to look too phony. It looks good.
Yeah, like, well, that opening fight scene with Bullseye.
That was nuts. Just getting knives in him. Just...
And like we talked about before, I love that he was randomly killing people.
Yeah.
As he was fighting to kill Daredevil.
Yeah.
But also at the same time prevent him from being able to save Foggy. And he knows that he can hear his heart beating while they're doing all of this shit. I was like, God damn. It was so good that the smoke and mirrors that they did with some of the gas effects to hide the shitty CGI stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, you didn't have to do that. I know this is a rush job.
Yeah.
But I don't care because that fight scene was fucking awesome.
Awesome.
And they did such a good job of switching between CGI and live action. Because that was the other part too, was that like one of the reasons why the Netflix show hit so much harder was because there was next to no CGI. Or there was, but it wasn't as overt. Right? Because they didn't have the budget for it, right? But yeah, that opening fight scene.
Oh, the opening was amazing.
Oh, when I first watched it, the funny part is like I got Disney Plus that day to watch. I was like, I was at work. Or no, that's right, it was a Tuesday. That's right. No, what was I doing? Anyway, I got it that day just to do it, right?
Yep.
Just be like, I got it, I'm all good.
I'm set.
And the first like 10 minutes or 5 minutes, I was like, okay, there's like a feeling. There's a feeling where you're like, oh, there's everybody, but then you're like, oh no, something's bad.
Something's not wrong.
Because I recognize some of the clips from the pictures, the set pictures and stuff, and I was like, oh. And of course we were kind of thinking that Foggy was going to get shot. And he did. He definitely did, but that whole sequence was awesome.
So good.
And then, the regular...
You saying Disney Plus remind me of something else I don't like. The 9 p.m. start time.
That it didn't bother. Didn't bother me.
I hate it.
Well, what time would you prefer?
Because Adrian wants to watch it with me, and she goes to bed like 9:30. So I was always waiting till... And then if we were getting together on a Wednesday, now I'm pushing it till Thursday.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
that's true.
just pick a day.
Yeah, see, I luck out.
And make it go live.
Michelle doesn't care to watch that show. So
really,
I was like, okay, cool. So yeah, so that didn't really bother me so much.
Okay.
But
that's it. Now I'm all happy.
Yeah. And then of course when he put the suit back on, and the the first part was when he does the rooftop shit. Yes. And you're like, oh yes,
it's coming. It's coming.
Now originally, and it is still kind of a minor gripe, but at the same time, it's outweighed by it. But how quickly he goes from like, I can't be Daredevil because of Foggy's death and all this and all that, and then all of a sudden he's just like, fuck it, I'm Daredevil again. You know, and at first I was like, because it kind of feels like it cheapens it. But then again, you're like, yeah, but it's a fucking junkie going right back.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna. Fuck it, I gotta beat up some dudes.
Yep.
And
justice was not working the way it should.
And of course, the fight scene with Muse was awesome. Like at one point when he starts just like letting him punch him, like he's just taking hits, and then he's just like going nuts. I'm like, holy shit, holy fuck! Now, granted, I would have liked a longer fight, right?
Yep.
But still, I was like, oh, holy shit! And then of course, during the day when he's fighting Muse in the office,
yep,
I was like, fuck, man, this is awesome. This is so cool.
It was incredible.
And Muse was awesome, like super creepy.
Yeah, so creepy. Oh. Like I never read the comic book arc that he was involved in.
Oh yeah.
But
I did.
You did.
Oh yeah.
Was that Charles Soule's run?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. In fact, that spot where the two chicks were watching him make the mural.
Yeah.
That's right out of the comic books.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. Yeah, he kills them too. Yeah. But
dark shit.
Stuff with Muse was really good. I know people are like obviously disappointed that he wasn't throughout the season. I don't know. Like I said, I mean, he does die in the comic books. He does go to hell. He comes back. I think that's where the current run is with Lady Muse. I don't know if that's the name they're using, but
Lady Muse.
Well, wasn't it? It was for a while there. Everything was Lady. It was Lady Punisher, Lady.
Yeah.
Lady Bullseye. That's
Lady
right.
Bullseye.
I was gonna say Lady Deathstrike, but that's old. That's That's a deep cut.
Yeah.
It's a deep cut for Wolverine.
Bullseye
fans.
Lady doesn't sound good. Lady Bullseye.
Yeah. You couldn't just call her Bullseye.
Yeah.
Or Punisher, because those are not gendered words.
Right. Yeah, we don't worry about that anymore.
Oh, that's a female Punisher. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I kind of wish that Punisher, like, oh man, John Bernthal kills it in his small amount of appearances in this. Like I said in our last episode, that scene between him and Matt, the first one, was some of the best. I think that might be the best acting in the MCU I've seen. That scene, it was so friggin' good.
For the Disney Plus stuff, yes, I will agree.
It was incredible.
And I don't want to say MCU stuff because again, I feel like the Netflix stuff is some of the best acted shit I've ever seen. Yeah. You know, like, yes, partly because Charlie Cox is such a phenomenal actor, and same with Vincent D'Onofrio, but it's like Eldon, what's his last name? Henson, yeah. Eldon Henson is also crazy good.
Oh, fantastic.
Deborah Ann Wall is incredible.
Yep.
Right? Like, Bernthal, of course, Bernthal is
amazing.
Holy shit.
But, like, the chemistry between the two of them, that scene really hit me. I was like, this is... I watched it twice. I rewound it and watched it again.
Well, the fact that they let Matt cry.
Yep.
And not just hero cry where he gets welled up. Like, granted, he wasn't ugly crying like he did in the Netflix show. Yeah. But they let him, like, fucking start tearing.
Yeah.
Falling down his face, stuff like that. Like, I was just like, oh, man, that's...
And then just, like, he hits Frank and then apologizes. And Frank's like, what are you apologizing
for? He's like, what the fuck, man? That's what I want you to do.
Yeah, like, just... man. And then he comes back because Karen calls him on this.
But how awesome was that?
That was so good.
Like, I swear to God, I when we got to episode 9, I was like, okay, all right. So I was prepared for this flip. I was prepared for the last 10, 15 minutes to be Frank and Daredevil, like Daredevil and Punisher.
Right.
That's what I was expecting.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that they were going to open the episode with, well, funny part is when he wakes up on the bed and he's just like, Karen? I immediately was like, oh, shit.
I was like, oh, the drugs are hitting him, yes.
Heather?
Yeah. Oh, you, the other one.
My love, remember I'm blind?
Yes.
Remember? But then, like he gets out, and the interesting part, though, is, so, like, they're hunting Daredevil.
Yep.
Right? But they're not hunting Matt specifically. Or not, they're hunting them, like, they're hunting Matt, but they're not hunting Matt because he's Daredevil. They're just hunting Matt because Fisk wants him gone.
Yeah.
So I like how they haven't outed him yet, because I thought that's what they were going to do.
Oh yeah,
I thought they were going to out
not
him.
Yet. I don't.
Now I'm not so sure. Now I don't think they're going to out him, but so part of the Soul Run, one of the reasons like he was wearing the black suit was because I can't remember exactly, but he did something as Daredevil, and it like the cops were now hating him, or they were after him now. So he wore the black suit because it was easier to hide at night, right? So you're like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. So I think that's why they're going this route, because I think this is going to be parts of Soul's run,
right,
with parts of Zdarsky's most recent run,
okay,
with probably some Shadowland stuff, but I don't think they're going to go too crazy with it.
Yeah, they're not going to go too crazy with it. The only Shadowland stuff will be like the suit and him having like the Defenders with him or whatnot.
Oh no, that's the other one. I don't want you to get your hopes up. I think
I'm not getting my. That's what I said. If anything, it's going to be that.
If anyone, it's going to be Jessica Jones.
Yeah,
but I have a feeling that we're not going to see the Defenders. Aside from Jessica Jones, I don't think I know what's his face, Finn, whatever is basically being like, guys, give me a chance. I'll do Iron Fist again better, and it's like it wasn't really your fault so much.
No, it wasn't your fault. It was the showrunner,
the director, and the writing.
Yep.
You know, I'm not gonna sit there and say like he.
Also, I had no problem with Iron Fist.
Not
the first season.
I did not like the first season at all. Actually, I shouldn't say. I have to rewatch it, but I just remember being like, oh. But him in Defenders, like I thought he was really good in Defenders. So like Defenders was when I was like, okay, if we could get more of this. It was kind of like when the Russos started touching Tony Stark, right?
Okay, yeah.
And they got their hands on Whedon characters that you were like, ugh. Then you're like, okay, this I can get. This I like. This I like.
Yeah.
You guys seem to get it here, right? But yeah. So overall, fucking great show.
Oh, it's amazing.
Probably the best Disney show that I've seen since first season of Loki and WandaVision. Is it as good as the 3 or 4 previous seasons? I would put it on even footing with Defenders.
I would put it even footing with Defenders, but not the actual first 3 seasons.
No. It is definitely like 3, 1, 2, then Defenders and Born Again.
1, 2, yeah, exactly. I'd say the same.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it's like in this particular case, this is not as good. Like with Daredevil season 2, it's awesome. It's a fucking great season.
Yep. It's
just unfortunate that the first and third were just that much better, like crazy good, and it's all character. It's like the violence is awesome. It's great. Like I mean, it definitely stood apart from the CW shows.
Yep.
But that's not why I was there. I was there because I wanted to see how this would go, and they did enough cool shit that I was like, okay, all right. And then the character work, these actors, the chemistry, the writing, like everything was just firing on all these cylinders. So if you got through season 1, you like it, check out season 2. I think season 2 is going to be... I actually think season 2 is more make or break than season 1.
Season 2 is going to be good. Yeah. I know it will be. Oh, yeah. I feel it in my balls.
Feel it in your balls. Do, 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 do. So yeah, that's it for me. Daredevil, Born Again, overall great show. It's literally anchored by Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio.
Oh yeah.
Oh, but when Bernthal shows up, and of course Deborah and Wall, like when they're there, then it starts to feel a lot more cohesive.
Yeah.
What's her face? I can't remember her name. Ayala Zuret, who plays Vanessa. Like she's another one, you know. And of course,
she's solid.
Fucking Dex, like getting him back too. Like there's a lot.
Yeah, getting him back was crazy.
And that whole fucking episode 8 with him.
Yeah.
When they started doing the blue tinge for when you're seeing it through his perspective, you hear that like scratchy sort of shit that like mosquitoes sort of thing that you heard in the original show.
Yep.
Plus, like, what the fuck has he been eating the last couple of years? Because I think he's even bigger than he was in the show.
Oh, yeah.
That's almost like 10 years ago. Like, fuck.
He's been eating the other inmates.
Yeah, well, yeah.
He's become a cannibal.
Oh, man. That whole fuck. Oh, so good. Like, when it's good, it's good.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
really good.
Yeah, you quickly forget about the things you don't like.
Exactly.
Like, oh, yeah, no, I'm in. I'm in.
Yeah, so, yeah,
and
that's where I'm at.
I guess Bernthal's one-shot's going to be next.
Yep.
Can't wait for that. I would love them just to do a Bernthal Punisher that follows the Greg Rucka run. Oh, that would be so good. So good. That's my favorite Punisher run.
Is that the one where he dies and becomes Franken Punisher?
No.
Angel Punisher?
No. Those are all bad ones.
But it is funny that he died, like, twice.
He died twice. Became an angel, became a Frankenstein.
Possibly 3 times.
Frankencastle.
Possibly 3 times.
Yeah.
Depending on the, You haven't finished that run, eh?
No, I still haven't.
Oh, yeah.
The first part is awesome.
Oh, it's fucking awesome. So fucking great.
Ares in his suit.
Yeah, I know, right?
Love it.
And he's like a fucking mob boss.
Yeah.
But like it worked.
It totally worked.
So well. I was like, oh my god, I can't get over this.
Oh.
And the art was incredible. Like that Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, it actually kind of hurt that he did that Captain America book right after with JMS. Because the JMS, like the first part of the run, really good. Second part of the run, nope.
That's really disappointing. I was so excited for that.
His characterization of Cap is great. The story, it was too supernatural for me.
Okay.
You know?
Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah.
But whatever.
No, I think not everything works for every hero.
That's right.
Right.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
So there we go. Daredevil Born Again.
Yeah.
Season 1.
It's awesome. It's overall awesome. It's
I think I'm trying to think of my fucking MCU TV shows. Loki season 1 is definitely my favorite still. And WandaVision's up there, but I really love Hawkeye too.
I would say this is my favorite. This takes top spot
over Loki and everything.
Over Loki. It's only because I'm such a fan of the original show.
Yeah.
Actually, no, Loki. Loki was really.
Yeah. That first season.
Yeah, like WandaVision, there was a couple of bloat issues.
You see, that's the thing that holds back WandaVision. It's like the first 4 episodes.
There were a couple of bloat issues.
Yeah. You could do all that black and white stuff in one episode.
Because I do think, like, afterwards, I remember thinking to myself, yeah, but if I were ever to rewatch it, I don't know that I would fully go through the first episode. I would probably, like, start it and then skip to the second episode.
I would be skipping.
Right?
I would be skipping.
Moon Knight is still the worst show.
Absolutely.
Like,
Agatha All Along was really good.
I have yet to watch that one, but that one looked like it was going to be good.
It's good. Still haven't watched Secret Invasion.
I tried.
So I feel like that's going to be close to Moon Knight.
I tried. I'd actually say that's probably the worst because I at least finished Moon Knight.
Yeah.
And, like, overall, I'm glad that I did because a lot of the stuff with Khonshu was really cool. Like, visually, they did a lot of really cool things. Yeah, Secret Invasion, I watched 2 episodes and then I was like, I can't even fucking.
Really? Eh?
I didn't even watch the climax, like the finale. I was just like, ugh.
I mean, I guess if I'm going to say my least favorite, it's going to be What If. Because I've tried 4 times.
You know what? I don't even care to. You know, like I was never gonna watch all those episodes anyway. I was always just gonna be like, yeah. I mean, now I might check it out because I have Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And I finished Spider-Man, which was awesome. It was really good.
Yeah.
Honestly, really good.
Okay.
It's a refreshing take on all of the characters. And there's characters in there that I didn't even realize were part of the greater MCU.
Oh.
Well, like Nico, I didn't realize that was one of the Runaways characters.
Yep. Did
not know that.
No.
Nope.
I like Nico.
So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Cool. Cool beans.
Oh, look at that. 20-9.
29.
Yep. So, thanks guys for watching, as always. I am interested to hear your thoughts on Daredevil Born Again. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, what worked for you, what didn't. Or you could just continue to tell me what you liked about the Netflix show. Or just life in general. Thanks again, Geek-Pantsers, and keep on rocking in the free world. And actually, sorry, let's do this better. You know where we are. You know where we're not. Like, share, subscribe, comment. We fucking love you guys. We really do.
Everything he said.
See you later.